Welcome to the Sanctuary at Woodville. I'm Laurel Coolbaugh, pastor and co-director.
And I'm Elizabeth Cartier, co-director.
I was graced to become the pastor here, formerly Woodville Baptist Church, in 2009. It was right after Easter in 2010, on a silent retreat, that God birthed in me the idea of the Sanctuary at Woodville. After several years of prayer, the Sanctuary at Woodville started officially in 2014 by the church voting unanimously to go in this direction. And by 2017, we changed our name to the Sanctuary at Woodville. It's been a 10-year journey.
And what a journey it's been.
What a journey it's been.
Yes, it all started in prayer. I had been praying with a friend, and she had a desire to meet Laurel. And so, because I had known Laurel previous, we set up this connection and we came here, and God just put it on our hearts to just meet consistently every week and pray together. And those times were so precious because we knew that God was calling us to prayer. We didn't have the whole picture, but we were so taken by His love and the love that He was growing in us together as we came together and just sought Him. We listened.
Yes.
We didn't have an agenda. We just kept listening and praying what He was telling us and showing us about this place.
And the vision for it.
Yeah, those early days were so wonderful.
We are hoping through this, through these testimonials by ministry partners and friends, that you will want to partner with us. Our prayer is that we would raise $10,000 by the end of 2020 so that we might be able to continue with our ministry efforts here, as well as do some things necessary now in COVID times to update our space and make it even more safe. We are still open for individual retreats as well as group retreats, and we welcome you coming. We are careful to disinfect in between and keep things clean. So please come and join us sometime. And we hope you enjoy these testimonials you're about to hear.
You will. God bless you.
Hi, I'm Bob Cloutier, the pastor of Care Ministry at Faith Community Church. And I definitely consider myself a friend of the sanctuary. Let me just share a little experience that I had that undergirds why I think it's so valuable. Last year, about this time in the fall, I just had an aggressive ministry week, and I had just conducted a funeral for a 5-year-old little girl who had some hereditary issues. She had 5 years of life. She was doing well. She was nonverbal, but then she died. Fortunately, at the end of that week, I was exhausted. I had signed up to do a quiet day, a quiet morning at the sanctuary. And in that quiet morning, I ended up walking around Lake Whitehall. And I found myself asking God the question, so what's it like to experience heaven? And I was walking slowly, and it was a brisk morning. The sun was shimmering off the water. And then all of a sudden I heard, just around the cove, the sound of a little girl's voice. And I watched, and she was running ahead and jumping and calling back, vocalizing to her family. And all of a sudden it struck me, this is Charlotte in heaven, this little girl. And I just stood still with tears streaming down my face. It was amazingly refreshing. I wholeheartedly support the sanctuary and encourage you to do so as well.
Hi there, I'm Bernadette with Love Unconditional, and I wanted to share a little bit about what the sanctuary means to me. Actually, right now I'm here in the basement of the sanctuary, and we have so many things out ready, preparing for Christmas in the Dominican Republic. We are packing gifts and creating crafts, and this is a place where we come to pray and so many other things. So on a personal level, the sanctuary has meant so much to me. I've come here for personal direction, a spiritual direction group with Laurel, and I have also come to workshops. I took an amazing workshop here on Bible journaling and art, and it has really enriched my devotional life. And so for me, I just want to say thank you on behalf of myself personally and on Love Unconditional for being able to be a part of this amazing ministry here at the sanctuary.
Hello, my name is Dr. Vinny Capetta. I'm a pastor and a licensed counselor. 12 years ago, someone handed me the keys to the sanctuary at Woodville, and they told me to use it to help point people to Christ. They said anytime you need to meet with somebody, use the building. And of course, I was interested in helping people with their emotional health. So I had no idea at the time, but that was the day that Check Your Compass counseling was started. I started meeting with one person each week, which then turned into 2 people, which then turned into 4 people. And then eventually it was 8 people that I was meeting with each week. And I was doing this on my day off from my regular job. Then we started a group for people who are grieving the death of a loved one. And then we started a group for people struggling to heal from trauma in their past. And then we started a group for people struggling with overwhelming emotions. But it all started with someone handing me the keys and giving me permission to use my spiritual gifts and the sanctuary at Woodville to bless others. It's been amazing to see how the presence of God has met people in that building and helped them work through some of the most difficult things I've ever heard of. While that's been going on, God has been increasing my faith and my intimacy with Him as I see Him working in my own life and then working in the lives of the people that I've met with. During a very difficult stretch in the life of my church, the sanctuary at Woodville opened its doors for us to have a meeting with our elders and a mentor of ours, and God met us in that place as well and helped us make some very difficult decisions. In a world where everyone's looking on how to promote themselves and how to sell you something, the people at the sanctuary at Woodville have created what I would say is an oasis, a refreshing place, a place of ministry, a place of giving, a place of generosity, a place where God can bless His people.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Late. I am the founder of and spiritual director at The Pilgrimage, an online spiritual formation ministry, and I'm the pastor of Central Baptist Church in Southbridge, Massachusetts. I was recently interviewed by Laurel on the new Sanctuary podcast, and that's one of the things I love about the Sanctuary. It's a ministry that genuinely supports other ministries and people in ministry. Back in 2018, the Sanctuary became the fiscal sponsor of The Pilgrimage, and this has enabled both of our organizations to support each other in our mutual calling to help form more lovingly faithful followers of Jesus. Thanks for your ministry, friends at the Sanctuary at Woodville. God bless.
Hi, I'm Len Cowan of the Abbey of the Way in Worcester, Massachusetts, a ministry which my wife and I founded 5 years ago to be a home of prayer and spiritual formation, particularly designed for Christian leaders to help them to go deep for God and to go long for God. I am so glad that Bill and Laurel Kulba followed the legacy of Laurel's pastorate at the Woodville Baptist Church to see that ministry transformed into the Sanctuary, a similar ministry that provides a beautiful space for believers to meet with God in a variety of different contexts. It's in the beautiful little village of Woodville. I kind of think of it as a little village that time for God. You kind of enter back into a quiet, more reflective time of life, and it's next door to the Whitehall Reservoir, pond, walking trails, and so on. It's just a wonderful environment for believers in the Metro Boston area to find life in Jesus Christ. And Bill and Laurel and the team that they've assembled are such a wonderful, hospitable group of people that literally make you feel like they are entertaining angels unaware, and the angels would be you, the visitors. So again, I'm grateful to be able to partner with them. Bill is served on our board and it's been incredibly helpful to us, and we trust that we're an encouragement to them. So I'm grateful that there is within a short distance of each other 2 ministries that share a similar vision for deepening the lives of those who lead and follow in Christ in His family.
The Sanctuary at Woodville is my happy place. It's like my second home. It's where I schedule time to go to and just be with God and get away from the busyness and noise of the world around me. I also love walking around the corner and sitting by Lake Whitehall every time I'm there and just enjoying God and the beauty of His creation. Also this year, I signed up for one of the day workshops that they provided. It was on women in ministry, and it was wonderful and educational and encouraging, and I got to connect with other women while I was there. I couldn't recommend the sanctuary at Woodville any more.
Hi, I'm Rob with Barnabas Ministries. We're a global ministry uniting pastors together in John 17:23 pastoral support groups. We've been working with the sanctuary, Laurel and her team, for over 5 years. It's been a joy to work with them. When you go there, you experience God's love in such a real and tangible way. I enjoy working with Bill and Elizabeth because they truly have the gift of hospitality. When I get into that place, I can put everything that's going on in life behind me, outside the door, and really meet with God. It's a wonderful place where you can connect with the Lord, you can connect with the team, and they speak into your life. And as someone who brings pastors there, it's awesome to see how pastors connect with God. We've had international trainings, we've had day of prayers, and it's been tremendous. So if you are in the Central Mass area, I encourage you to take part in coming to the sanctuary. With all that they provide, you will be blessed.
Hi, I'm Bill Kula with Boston International Student Ministry. Some 180 years ago, Mr. Wood, who was the big landowner in this area, donated the land that the sanctuary now sits on. What's amazing, in his letter of donation, Mr. Wood, though he wasn't a Christian, stated that no community can survive without the gospel. Some 180 years later, the sanctuary has hosted many internationals and has been instrumental into many coming to become Christians and exploring their faith. So I'm really thankful for the sanctuary and the grounds it sits on. Many internationals, when they come here, actually think it's somebody's home because it's so cozy. So I'm thankful that God moved Mr. Wood's heart to donate the land, even though I'm sure he had no idea how God was going to use it so many years later.
Good morning. My name is Megan Jartsma. I work for Worcester Alliance Refugee Ministry with our volunteers, and I'm so thankful to be able to tell you a little bit today about why the sanctuary is just something to be really excited about and really thankful for. The sanctuary is just, every time I think about it, it's just a family of families. It is full of diversity and just joy and graciousness and overextension of hospitality. And I'm so thankful for everything that I've learned from Laurel and Bill and Gethin in my time interacting with the sanctuary. So thank you, and I just pray that God will bless the ministry of the sanctuary and continue to welcome internationals, nationals, refugees, immigrants, everyone to the sanctuary for the glory of the kingdom of God.
Hi, I'm Joanne. Now I live in Las Vegas and attend Shadow Hills Church. I met my godparents Lauren and Bill at the very first weekend after I flew from China to the States as an international student in 2012. I had a lot of fear and worries back then. Bill reached out to me, and his ministry held a lot of special events for international students at the sanctuary, and also invited us to Sunday services there. Also, Laura, as a pastor of the sanctuary and advocate for women ministry, she's always so humble and passionate to young believers. I was so blessed and honored to have one-on-one women Bible study with her. Through their help, I was able to build a solid spiritual foundation. Though I have left Massachusetts for 6 years, all the memories of their ministries and the sanctuary have made me want to be a strong Christian to show other people what is God's love. God loves a person who gives cheerfully. I hope we can all support the sanctuary with prayer and donations.
Hi, my name is Sue Ramsley, and I'm the senior lay leader at St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Hopkinton. I came to know about the sanctuary first through Bill Kulbaugh and then through Pastor Laurel Kulbaugh. I've worked with Bill on a committee comprised of representatives from several churches in Hopkinton with a focus on helping each other to do things that just wouldn't be possible for one church to pull off on their own. And then more recently, I've been participating with Pastor Laurel as part of the Sunday morning Hopkinton Community TV Christian church service, a wonderful opportunity for us to join together to create and distribute a worship service on Sunday mornings. This started when the pandemic kept us all from meeting in person, and it's grown into something that I sure don't want to see anytime soon. Pastor Laurel and Bill recently opened the sanctuary for in-person and remote attendance for prayer times. These were held 3 different times a day for the 10 days prior to and including the day of the recent election. We as a group of Christians of differing political persuasions were able to pray together, humble ourselves, ask for God's forgiveness, and pray for God's will to be done in our nation. Clearly, the sanctuary is committed to collaboration, and I'm honored to participate with them.
Hi, we're Tim and Christy Jagle.
Hi.
And the sanctuary for the last 4 years has been an important part of our lives. I discovered Laurel and spiritual direction in the sanctuary 4 years ago after my mother passed away. And I was feeling very, very broken. And it was my introduction into spiritual formation. And since beginning spiritual direction, I ventured into some other offerings that the sanctuary had, such as Ignatius and transformational listening. We've done prayer there. I've met with soul companions and many, many other things. But it has been very important in my spiritual formation and taking my head, my faith that was in my head deeper into my heart.
I think for me, I retired from my job a couple years ago, and really I retired on a Friday. That Saturday I went to the sanctuary for a kind of a little retreat to kind of begin to think about, pray about, look for kind of what was next in line for me there too, and that was just and Pastor Laurel led that time, which was really good. But subsequently too, it's really been good. We've had times of prayer there, such as recent intense prayer times we had there with others. But also, it's been a fun place too to meet with friends and just talk about different subjects. And I've recommended the sanctuary too to another friend of mine who used it as a personal retreat place. So it's just a fun place to go, particularly when to be inside and bless the grounds they have around there. Wonderful to walk around. So it's been a blessing, a huge blessing for both of us.
One of the things we've also enjoyed is that the Coolbaws have welcomed Chase into their heart and their home and their life. And he feels like that the sanctuary is his home away from home. He can't wait to get there.
Wasn't that wonderful? Wasn't it a blessing to watch all those testimonials of what God has done in this place? And the thing that was highlighted to me was the fact that this is a place where people can get away from everyday life, from all the noise that surrounds us and the busyness, and listen to God and just be present with Him and ask Him the tough questions and wait to hear from Him. He's so faithful to meet people in this place. So, such a blessing.
And what always has stood out to me about the sanctuary, and I believe is a pillar of our ministry, is that we're able to encourage others in what God has called them to. We just saw in this video so many different people living into their calling, what God has called them to do. And what greater gift can we give as Christians and as a body of believers than that to the kingdom?
And I was really touched by just the aspect of hospitality, how many people found us a hospitable place, both for the relationship with God and meeting each other, and people from all walks of life, all walks of nations. It truly was a welcoming place.
I'm overwhelmed by the kingdom reach. This has been our passion for years now, and to actually witness that in these videos was so touching to me. Though we are small in number, God has allowed us to have a large, long reach, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for praying and supporting us and helping us to have a kingdom reach, not only here in Hopkinton, but throughout Central Mass and even further. So we encourage you to pray and give as you feel led so that we might reach our year-end goal of $10,000. Thank you so much for joining us in this wonderful journey.
We hope to see you at the sanctuary soon.
God bless.